Manifestation is a mind game, and it's actually very simple, but only if you really understand how it actually works. In this video, I'm going to tell you how to win the game. Okay, so manifestation, it's a mind game. And there's two players in this mind game, okay? Who are the two players? We have, on one side, your inner reality. And on the other side, we have the external reality, the 3D reality around you. Now, this is a game of you, your inner reality, versus the outer reality. How strong is your inner reality? That's what I'm inviting you to ask yourself right now. How strong is your inner reality? Because the strength of your inner reality directly correlates with the power of your manifestations. It directly correlates with how powerful of a manifester you are. Because look at it like this, okay? Let's say you want to manifest something. Success, money, relationships, whatever you want to manifest. On the internal, you shift into that new reality. You become that person. You become that person who has that thing already on the internal, right? You know this. But when you do that, when you shift into that on the internal, I'm sure you've noticed that it's hard. It can be tough to stay in this new reality when on the external you see that things are the same. Nothing has changed. Nothing's changing on the external. You see, this is why the strength of your inner reality is so important, because when you shift on the internal, what happens is that creates a disharmony between the internal and the external. There is a disharmony. You have shifted into another reality on the internal, but on the outside, things are the same. So this disharmony that is created, it naturally wants to resolve itself, right? And it will resolve itself one way or the other. There are two options. It's either going to resolve itself this way or resolve itself that way. What does that mean? It means that either the outer reality is going to win and take over, and then you're back in your old reality, or your inner reality is going to win, and your inner reality is going to take over and seep into the external. And that's what you want, right? You want your inner reality to win. That's why the strength of your internal reality is so important. That's why your mental fortitude is so important. How strong is the kingdom or the queendom within you? How strong is it? You see, if your internal reality is strong enough, then it will win the battle. It will take over the external reality, and it will resolve that disharmony that has been created. So you see, this is the nature of manifestation. It's the inner versus the outer. Which one is going to win? You see what happens a lot of times. It's happened to me a lot of times in the past, and I'm sure it's happened to you too. You get into that new vibration internally, but then you see on the external, hey, nothing's changing. Everything's the same. And when that happens, when you let that get to you, you're basically letting the outer reality win. And you're letting the outer reality define your life. But if your internal reality is strong enough, if it's stronger than the outer reality, then sure, you might see the same things on the outside, but you won't even register it. You won't let it affect you because your internal reality is so strong that it ends up seeping into the external. And then you start to see the change. You start to see the change manifesting. You start to see your reality shifting before your eyes. Okay, so this doesn't mean to sit on your ass all day and stay in the internal reality. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that when you're in your internal reality, when you're living in that internal reality, in that strong internal reality, you will then take action from that place. You will act from that place. You will do the actions that that person would do. And by doing that, that is going to create the change in your external reality. You see, you're aligned with that new vibration. You're receiving inspiration because you're in that high vibration state. You're not acting from a place of lack, like, oh, I don't have this thing, I have to get it. No, you're acting from a place of abundance. So if you look at this logically, it makes sense. Your internal reality is so strong that even though on the external things are looking the same, even though that may be the case, your internal reality is so strong, you're acting from that reality. You're taking action from that internal reality as opposed to taking action from the external reality. And when you do that, as you move forward, aligned with your internal world, that is going to create the change on the external. Shifting into that reality, feeling yourself in a new vibration for like a few minutes is easy. It's easy. The real game here is cultivating that mental fortitude, cultivating that mental reality, that inner reality, strengthening that inner kingdom or queendom, strengthening that world inside you. And no matter what you see on the external, your inner reality is so strong that it begins to seep out of you. And you create. You bring forth your creation into the world. You become the person that you want to be, not only on the internal, but also on the external. So to win the game of manifestation, you must strengthen your inner reality, your mental fortitude. Strengthen your inner world. So good luck, and I'll see you next time. Live free and shine bright.